Hello YouTube, if you're seeing this, that means I've officially hit 100 subscribers. I'm recording this at 98, I'm just about there, so I figured I'd go ahead and record this so I can release it as close to my success as possible. I am so excited to finally have hit 100 subscribers, and so I wanted to start by saying thank you to everybody who has subscribed, and if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. I have lots more fun videos planned. But I figured since I've got 100 subscribers, it's time to make the famous or infamous Pile of Shame video. And so this is a list of everything I have that I haven't painted yet, that I've bought, that I've accumulated, that hasn't been painted. I've been in the hobby for now 3 years, and so inevitably you buy some stuff, but you don't get around to painting it. So I especially am a hound for hunting for deals. Just about everything I've bought is below MSRP, or I've bought it on a sale or gotten it off of a deal or a trade. And so I'm always trading and dealing and trying to find good things. So my kind of philosophy is that I like to kind of stockpile and build up at least 1,000 points or a full army of something before I paint it. And so a lot of these models are me starting to collect stuff and get ready. So if you're watching my main series right now, I got a full Tau army, and so I've been building and painting the Tau. I'm not going to show them off. That's the active project right now. The other active project on my painting desk, which should be done painting by the time this video is live, is I bought the Empire Knights for my cities, a Sigmar army. I've got 6 done that just need a little bit of basing touch-ups, and the other 6 are half done. They'll be done by the time you see this video. So if they're not going to be featured, they'll be in their own video. Maybe I'll do a showcase video if I feel like it. But I did want to highlight all the stuff that I haven't painted. Be honest with you guys, I like to hide stuff around the room. Now, I love my spreadsheets, so I have everything in a spreadsheet, so I know what I have, but I like to hide stuff around the room to kind of not look at what a giant pile of miniatures I have. So I don't like to look at my unpainted. So since I got 100 subscribers, I figured it is only fair to show everything off. So we'll start with this little box here. These are the 9 Dawn of War minis. You actually might have seen these, and I did my review. So I have them ready to go. They just need to be primed up. I've got my Caradron Overlord mini of the month that I've kit bashed into a Gnome Chemist. So I gave this guy a claw, replaced the helmet, and replaced the arm with his little custom gas blast weapon. This is a fun mini. This will be a little one-off project. And then I started on an Ogre's army. So I've got the Tyrant built and primed, and then I got the Buccaneers built and primed and dry brushed. But then I stopped because I've heard rumors they might have a rule change coming. So first thing in my pile of unpainted is the Ogre's old Spearhead. I really liked the Spearhead. I wanted to get a copy of it, but rumor has it there's some rules changes. Now, my army is a kind of 3rd edition, 4th edition army, so even if the rules change drastically, because I've got like the cannon guys in here and the lead belchers, and I've heard they might be getting changed, but that's a rumor, so I don't want to make all my changes based on rumors and hearsay, but most rumors do tend to actually wind up being true. So I'll move that up here, and then I'll zoom it out eventually. They're up there now. So I'm waiting on this box. I'll finish assembling it. If I need to make some minor touch-ups to this box to make it legal for the next edition, I will. Otherwise, it's going to be built for 4th edition with the rules that are already out for this box, and I'll just say it's good enough. I like the Ogres as the Ogres. They're going to be kind of a piratey force anyways. I'll see what I want to do with them. But I put them on hold because I've got this Tau project and some other stuff. Other thing I got going here, and it's in the bag, this is all of my Combat Patrol magazines. And so I got all these magazines, and I'm 5 or 6 deliveries in. I've almost got all the Space Marines. Ooh, that's loud. I've almost got all the Space Marines, and I've almost got all of the Tyranids. And so the Space Marines and the Dawn of War Space Marines will become 1,000-point force. And then I've got some Tyranids in here. Next month, in a couple of weeks here, I'm getting the first premium order, which is the Dreadnought and the big Tyranid. I forget its name, Winged Tyrant, I think. And then one of the other big bugs too. And then there'll be one more order after that. That's the Chaplain and the Spawn, I think, something Tyranid. So that will round out both of those armies. But this is all of those magazine piles. So we'll put that right over there. those are all the magazines. On that note, I bought myself a Biovore. I've opened it, but I haven't built it, but that's going to go with the Tyranids. This will both be videos, so I will be doing videos on building 1,000 points of Tyranids, which will be using this guy to get up to 1,000 points, and then building 1,000 points of Space Marines with the Dawn of War minis. And then also have just a couple other 40k things I've bought. I've got my Piranha that still needs to be built. That's for the Tau videos. You may have seen that already. I had a good friend of mine give me a Hexmark Destroyer for my Necron army. That'll be super fun. We'll tuck him in here. And then I've got this idea that I want to build some orcs next year. So I happened to buy myself a Runt Herder and some Gretchen just because I liked this kit. And I made a trade that I couldn't resist off of Facebook Marketplace for a couple of these at a really good deal. So I got the Orc Bomber that was already pre-built, the Orc Big Vehicle, whatever this thing's called, the with the roller on the front. I think this has like 3 or 4 different names depending on how you build it. But mine has the roller because that's how the guy before it built it. And I got these for a crazy good deal. And he also threw in Gazgul. But sadly, Gazgul lost his little friend, Makari, I think. And so I'm going to have to kit bash or find somebody to make me a Makari to go with him because he has unfortunately lost his little banner bearer grot. But this is well assembled, well primed. This was a great little find at a deal, and I could not resist the price I got on these. And then I also got some terrain with that deal, but I'm planning on selling the terrain, so that's on my eBay store right now. So that will get sold, but that's the beginnings of my orc army. I got some Gretchen, I got 3 big centerpiece models. I figured that's a really good start. We'll zoom it out just a little bit so you can see everybody here. That's the first kind of start for the orcs. Orcs are coming up later in the magazine, so when the magazine hits, then the big army is going to get built, and we're here, and that's going to be the next army in the edition. So hopefully I get the launch box next year, and then I have a big orc army. So when that hits, I already have Gazgul, already have the big truck, already have the bomber, which maybe that'll be good next edition, who knows, and then some extra Gretchen. So I will be ahead of the game for some orcs. But after making all those videos about orcs for the Dawn of War, it only felt right to go out and buy some. One other little thing I have 6 bases that are 40 mils for objectives for Age of Sigmar. And then I have from WizKids, I think, I have some treasure chests. And then I have these little donkeys I got that I want to use as objective markers for games. Because I feel like it'd be nice to have something to actually be there. You're fighting over treasure and, supplies that could be moved around. So that's just something that's been on my painting desk. I also have a handful of many of the months, and then I got a blind box Stormcast for some reason. I have no plans of painting, so that's just for kit bashing potential. That might as well just be in the bit box. And then I bought 1 box of Warlord Games Light Cavalry that was the wrong scale that I didn't like, but I'm going to kit bash that into something. So a couple things in the kit bash pile that are not coming up. So that stuff I don't really count it as part of this. This is all stuff that's going to get painted, but if it's never going to get painted, it's never going to get painted. I do have a mini of the month. It's a Chaos Warrior, I think, for maybe I think it actually might be an Old World model. It was one from a few months ago, but I have that too. Maybe I'll paint that, maybe not. Maybe I'll use it as a test model, or maybe it'll get kit bashed. I don't know yet. But then I have one more big thing. That's this bad boy. Yes, it is the Lumineth. And I've been slowly accumulating this army. I'll back this camera out even more. I've been slowly accumulating this army. I showed my wife the giant cow, and my daughter loves cows, and so I had to go out and buy the cow. So I bought the cow, and then it needed a friend, and so I got a really good deal on the spearhead to go with it. And so I have slowly been buying Lumineth over the last year. We have the starter box, we have the cow, and then as a Father's Day present, birthday present, I also got the Caligrave and the Enlightener. So that gives me a pretty good Lumineth force, but it needed one more thing. And so I went out, found a guy in France actually, and who was 3D printing this beauty. And so I have Teclis and the Sphinx is a 3D printed proxy. And so this will be a proxy model to give me that, because that kit is crazy expensive and kind of funny looking, but I figured it'd be fun to get the 3D printed version and save some money so that I can afford all this stuff. So this is a 3D printed kit. Doesn't have the head, it's somewhere in the bottom of this box, but super excited about that. And then I noticed that the Light of Eltharion, which I also got, I found this as an open box on eBay for half price, but still new on sprue. This box is all busted up, but the sprue is just fine, as you can see. This guy has crazy fun rules. It is a empty suit of armor that is charging into battle with an elven soul in it, and it just absolutely kills everything it touches, kind of similar to Gotrek. It is a beast in melee, and because it's an empty suit of armor that's fighting, it has a real Alphonse Eldrick Full Metal Alchemist vibe, and Full Metal Alchemist is a big thing in our family. That's our family's official favorite show, I think. So here is everything that's on the to be painted pile. Most of it is this Lumineth army that's going to be happening here pretty soon. That's 100% collected. I got some orcs that are coming up for a later project. That might happen eventually. I've got one or two small things that'll just be little palette cleansers here and there. I've got Tal project going on. And then coming up for the end of this year will be Space Marines and Tyranids. So goal by the end of the year, I think, it's already September. We're coming up on October fast. So we have October, November, December. Goal is Space Marines, Tyranids, maybe Lumineth, and Tau. But that might be ambitious. So realistically, probably going to be Tau for sure. And then I'm going to say Tyranids or Space Marines, but if you got a preference on that, let me know, because the magazine got delayed, and so I've kind of gotten pushed back. And then, honestly, the Lumineth might wind up being a little project that I work on the side just for the fun of it. And then Orcs, I'm happy to save till next year when I start getting the rest of the kits. This is kind of the collecting. I happen to get a really good deal and crazy good savings, and then I picked this kit up just for the fun of it. And if I need a kit bash a Gretchen, this will have a Gretchen in it, so could come in handy. I don't know yet. And then that's about it. Yeah, ogres, I'm not sure when I'm going to do them, but they're going to come about as soon as I know for sure where their rules are going. That's starting back up, because I already started building and priming them, and they don't look hard to build at all. And they're a fairly low model count army. I think it's what 18 models in that box plus 5 for the pirate. That's not a lot. I can knock that out in a week or so. So lots of stuff to paint, a lot of it fun, and it'll go into next year. But the goal is none of this stuff is sitting for years and years. I've seen YouTube channels where they got stuff that sits for 5 years, and I can't imagine. All of these projects I expect to be done in the next 6 months. So that's the goal. I'm holding myself to it, and now I'm accountable because I have this YouTube channel. So you guys can judge me accordingly depending on if I succeed or fail on this. So hope you enjoyed looking at my collection. Thanks again for everybody who subscribed, and go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. 100 subscribers is a pretty cool goal to hit, but the next big goal will be the 500, and then of course the big 1,000, because that's when YouTube will actually give you a little bit of ad revenue back. So that would be really cool to hit. That would help me be able to save up for a few more kits and buy a few more things that I really need. I am working on upgrading my camera and my audio setup, and then hopefully I'll be able to actually be on camera here sooner than later. So that is in the works still. I did just order some stuff for my setup that's coming to be announced soon. So once my setup is upgraded a little bit more, I'll finally be able to be on camera too, and you can see what I look like. I look about like what you expect I look like. I look like your typical Age of Sigmar player. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.